Welcome to Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. Much appreciation for joining us. You're watching the award-winning TV station, Maisha Television Kenya. My name is Rida Kering Chibet, and of course I'm not alone in studio. I'm with two amazing ladies. We have Sarah Muridi, who is in studio. She is she's a counselor, she is a wife, a mother, and she is a church leader. And of course, we're joined live by Irene Mumbo Bushebi from United States of America. And she is also a counselor. She is a pastor. She is a mother as well. She is a wife. We've been talking about a lot. Thank you so much for your immense feedback from our last program where we talked about submission. That was amazing. And you can still keep the conversation going via our social media platforms. Television Kenya, Facebook and YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. You can text, call or WhatsApp our phone number, which is 0746 999 841, and we will definitely get back to you. As we begin our show, let me give Sarah Muridi 1 minute and then Irene 1 minute to say hi to you, our viewer. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. How are you, viewers? I'm happy that you are always there with us. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate that we are sharpening one another. Karibuni sana. Yeah.
Hello viewers, thank you so much for staying put and being there for us every other Wednesday. We thank you and we appreciate you. Karibuni sana.
Well, so today's topic is a very interesting topic. Although we talked about something similar to that in our last programs, I think last year. But today we're going to talk about financial independence, especially to women. I know the issue of finances is one of the major issues in marriages. And as I said some time back, women usually say that my money is my money, but the husband's money is our money. Sarah, let's first define this term, financial independence.
Thank you, Chebet. Financial independence means that a woman is free to use her money. She can govern it, how she wants to use her savings, how she wants to use her income, without necessarily asking somebody else's opinion on how she's going to use her money. So she's a sole decision maker on her finances, and she can use her money to do whatever she feels like. That is taking herself out, buying clothes, feeding her children, keeping her family warm. Yeah, that is what finance independence means, that the income, the savings that a woman has, she solely decides on how she's going to make use of that money. Is she going to invest with her money without solely asking somebody else's opinion? So she's one who is making all the decisions according to her money, how it is going to be put into use. Yeah.
Well, such a good definition there from Sarah Muridi. Irene, how can you define this term, financial independence?
For me, financial independence is when a woman is in a position to just do all or meet all her financial needs without depending on somebody else, or without asking for, maybe a second opinion from somebody else. In this case, I know basically it's about the husband or the surrounding. She's able to do everything she needs to do in terms of finances without needing any other support, but just doing it so as she is. Yeah.
Of your money without consulting someone else. But as we talk about this financial independence, is it really important for a woman to be financially independent? Sarah?
Yeah, it is very important for a woman to be financially independent, and I'm going to elaborate on that. Why a woman should have a financial independence, or she should have her own money. One, it gives her security. She feels secure when she has that money. she doesn't feel a lesser being, and she's able to make decisions about that money. She's able to improve the society. She's able to improve her family. So it is good that women learn to have their own money, so that they can also keep the economy of the country going, because they also contribute to the economy of the country. So I'm saying it is important for a woman to have financial independence. Yeah.
Well, Irene, do you support what Sarah says? Is it important for a woman to be financially independent?
It's very important, because we know that a woman is somebody who influences so many things in the society, in the family, and in the world as a whole, I would say. And so if a woman is financially independent, it means like she has all that she needs in terms of finances and can run all her finances without any other person's support, which in this case, any other person's influence or ideas, because when we look at it, we know that our culture and everything woman, especially in African setup, is always like she depends, or she needs to depend on somebody to do things. But here, when she's financially able, it means that all she needs to do will be taken care of, because we know everything is run basically with finances in terms of, development, projects, or whatever you want to do. That takes you from one level to another. So if your stability is in this, as in you have all you need financially, then it means you can go to heights. We've seen so many occasions where so many things could have been done if left in the hands of a woman, and they were not done just because this woman is not financially stable, or is depends on other people for finances. So she can do things to a certain point and not get to that level where she accomplishes everything she wants to do simply because she doesn't have enough finances, or she depends on somebody else to decide for her issues, finances. But we find that if the woman becomes independent, it means that whatever she wants to do, she can do what she can do. And then when it comes to finances also, she will put in all she has, because we know a woman will always do everything she wants to do from deep within, because she knows so many people depend on her, and she would want to do it and do it from her best. So if a woman is financially independent, we know that we can go far and we can do so much. Again, when talking about this, I know that women, we do so many small things that bring up the big things. And most of the time, these are things that are overlooked, especially when we get men on board, because men would want to do big things. But a woman would want to do these small things that eventually will create the bigger thing in the long run. But sometimes when you tell a man that this is what we want to do, they're like, why do you go that far? But if the finances are in the hands of a woman, then she'll start by doing all these small things and putting them all together. By the time she's done with it, everything has been done. Like in a nutshell, we can say that everything has been done with all the small things that were put together. Do you see that? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's very important that every woman becomes independent in terms of finances. Yeah.
And Claire Booth Lewis, an American author, once said that a woman's best protection is a little money of her own. But I know that many people will not agree with this, because most people usually say that the moment a woman is financially independent, then the level of kiburi inapanda, because she can feel like she can do anything without a man. Do you agree with that, sir?
It depends with a woman. It is not that when a woman has money, she's going to be full of pride. No. It is how you perceive your financial independence. So I don't agree. Because you have seen very many who are financially independent.
Yes.
You've seen them very humbled. You've seen them running their families like even they don't have money. We have seen them respecting their husbands. We have seen them respecting authority.
Yes.
So it is not necessary that when a woman has money that she's kiburi. It is just a few. And you choose to be governed by your money, or you govern the money. You know, yeah, these are two things. So if you choose to be governed by your money, you're going to be toppling on everybody. They must feel that you have the money. You are richer than they are. You are somewhere above them. You are somewhere above your husband. But the moment you allow the money not to govern you, but you are governing it, you're not going to have pride. You are going to treat everybody like a human being like you. So I don't agree that money makes women proud. You just choose to be proud. Yeah.
Thank you. The same to you, Irene. Do you think that, do you agree with Claire Booth's American author's words, a woman's best protection is a little money of her own? Or do you agree with the saying that when a woman is financially independent, then the pride in a
Yeah, I would not just want to totally disagree that pride will not creep in. I know, the reason why sometimes we find that pride gets into a woman when she gets financially stable is the all wrong reasons as to why the woman has not been having her finances in place, because it has been known from time immemorial that women need to depend on men, and so this has been a mentality that is wrongly placed to an extent that when now a woman gets financial stability, especially if they are not empowered intellectually, you'll find that for sure they will have a little bit of a problem, because culture dictates that a woman is not okay. That is African culture, if I can't put it right, that a woman is not supposed to be financially stable. That is back then. And so because of that, it was something that if a woman becomes stable financially, then she feels like she's on top of it, because nobody was allowed, or many women are not just allowed to be financially stable. Even if they are stable, there is how the society would want to press them to a level where they look like they are not having that financial freedom. So we find that sometimes pride creeps in, especially when this woman realizes that maybe men would be bending low to her because she is financially stable, So it can have room in her. But what we are saying is that this really also depends with somebody's character, somebody's level of education, because if you know what it means to have the finances and what you really need to do with the finances, I don't think it will disturb you to a level where you think you need to be over everything and all over because you just have some financial stability, So if you know who you are, you know what you want, you know how far you want to go, because we know if somebody is even financially stable, if you want to really know who this person is especially when they have this money with them, and this dictates that when you have this money, those people who really even have so much, you'll find that they are very low. You see, it's not easy to tell when that they have that. That is because they know what they want to achieve. When you want to achieve much, you don't talk much, you don't be all over the place. You'll just be to a level where you can do things. You create an environment that is conducive for you to do whatever you want to do. So this issue of pride only comes in when, especially this woman comes from a background where every woman has been pressed down, and so she feels like she's on top of it and she's managed so much, that it becomes like it's the whole world, But otherwise, in the setup that we are today, whether you are financially stable or not, it is to your own benefit, and so you'd want to create an environment that will help you even escalate higher than just sitting there and letting pride take its course.
Thank you so much, Irene. I think Irene has raised another point where she said that pride comes in when the woman is raised in that background where the women are being suppressed, and we find that mostly it is men who provide. Kazi ya mama ni kukaa nyumbani, lea watoto, pikia mwanamume na hiyo yote. So when she gets money, then anajiona she's on top of everyone. So that is a very nice point there. And from that, Sarah, what should our society do to ensure that in case a woman gets money, she's not, the pride does not go high? Do you think that maybe our women have been suppressed na kuwekwa that the man is the provider and then her work or her place is in the home?
That is how our culture dictates. That a woman should be a housewife, should be a staying wife, and the man should bring money to her. So what our women, or the women, we ourselves, should embrace the culture of educating our children, our girls. Our girls should be taken to school so that they undergo through education, whereby they are taught the skills of how to manage money and how to use that money. For sure, I agree with Irene that the background matters a lot. You've been brought up whereby you're not given the chance to be in charge of money. And you have seen even your mother, she does not even have an income. So she solely relies on her husband. And I normally say that children learn through observing. We are the role models. So when you suppress this girl, or she's brought up in a very, very poor background, and her friends come from a very rich background. So when she is growing, she's going to have the mentality, when I grow up and I am going to have my own money, they are going to understand whom I am. I am going to show them that I also have the money that I didn't use to have, and now I can do whatever I am going to do with that money. And this way normally is that everything begins in our background, our environment. How have you been brought up? Because if you have not been brought up in a station whereby money is worshipped, even when you grow older, you're not going to worship that money. You're going to know that money is there to help you do your daily activities. Money is going to enable you move from one place to another. Money is going to make you buy property, but you're not going to use money to put others down. Even such that when you get employed and you earn a higher income than your husband, you're not going to put him down because your salary is bigger than his. You're going to humble yourself. So I agree that parents should educate their child. We've come from the era of saying that a girl should be taking care of the family. She should just stay at home and she's going to be brought. And now go back to there's a point you talked about a woman who said that when a woman has a little money, she feels good. Yeah, it is true. She feels secure. Because when you have money, you are respected. You will not always be saying, give me, give me, give me. At when ukienda mahali unaambiwa contribute, sina, utabadikwa jina sina. But the moment you have as a woman, you are there also chipping in. And people are going to see you are not about the same woman. You're also contributing. And that's what I was saying about contributing to the society. So it is the women to remove the mentality that a woman should always stay at home waiting for the husband to bring food on the table, or to give her money to go and buy a dress, or to be given money to go do some hair. Get? So, and I would wish to tell the women, hata kama haukupata masomo, please empower your girl. Usiseme kwa sababu mimi siku educatiwa, sioni muhimu wa masomo, siku pelekwa shule, siku elimishwa. Tafadhali huyu ni mtoto wako, ukimpatia masomo naye atakuja kufanya, akibarikiwa na msichana na yeye anampeleka wapi? Shule. So that will break this trend of women coming to stay at home as wives, that will sacrifice your work, but the man will not sacrifice his work. So we expected to sacrifice our work. So this thread should be finished. This culture should be finished, because education is very good in teaching people how to make decision of their money, in teaching women how they are going to use their money, in teaching girls that even when you have money, you are not supposed to allow the money to govern you. So the first thing women should do is, if you have a girl at home, make sure that your mtoto umpeleke shule. Usiseme huyu si sawa na kijana akuwa na mprovidea, alafu najiambia pia wewe utaolewa uende na wewe unafanya nini? Unaprovidiwa. That shouldn't be the case. So our women should embrace education of their girl child so that they are empowered. I don't know, when you empower one woman, you empower a whole society.
Yes. There. As Irene, do you have anything to add on what Sarah said at the issue of ensuring that we empower the girl child and teach them how to handle money?
Yeah, I think education basically is all round, like yes, they should know how to handle money. And this maybe is not just about going to school, but also the way even us as women carry up ourselves at home, you know, is the first education that we are going to give our girl child at home, because, you know, the best example is always from us. And we know, as we've always discussed, is that our children learn much by example. So whatever they see is what they are going to apply. So back at home there, even before these children go to school, because sometimes we let it be like it is a school thing, until they are only taught how to do these things in the books, and they've not seen how this thing is done, you know, practically. And then now when they go out there and practically somebody gets money and they only know how to calculate it but don't know how to use it practically, it becomes an issue. So I'm saying this, adding to what Sarah has just said on, you know, empowering our children, that, you know what, it also starts with you back at home. How are you handling even the small finances that you have? Maybe if you're coming from the background that you're talking about, where, you know, women don't command a lot in terms of finances, the little that you're getting, how are you using it? You know, how do you apply whatever financial ability that you have, so that your girl can learn from you and know something, you know, so that when they get money, they'll know how to handle it. We have these ladies that when they get, even if it is some good amount of money, let's say, for example, where we come from, back there, we see that mtu anakata miwa, and then now mama amepewa pesa kiasi. This lady will do everything. Amenunua mkati, amenunua mandazi, akanunua unga ya chapati, na amenunua na chapati ingine, you know. So look at that kind of spending, and that is all wheat put together, you know. So if we are not going to be in a position where we know how to handle finances, we are going to teach this to our children, and when they get these finances, you know, they'll misuse it, because they practically didn't see how it is being handled back there at home. So as much as we would say it's a matter of also going to school, it is also about your character. Who are you? And whenever you get something, how do you handle it? How do you use it? Is it for the gain of everybody, or you're so selfish that you would want everything to be spent on you and to be used by you, you know? So all this is what brings us to the level where we really don't know what to do. And we are talking about the pride that we are talking about that creeps in whenever a woman becomes financially stable. We know that our children, now that we are taking them to school, ultimately they'll get out there, get jobs and get money. So if they didn't see this thing done practically at home, as much as they have what they've learned at school, think of it, what will happen? Pride will automatically come in. And we've seen in several locations where we see somebody who is very decent, you look at that person, you think this is a very decent woman, but when the authority of the money comes in them, then you start seeing things that you never expected from them. So the intellect that we're talking about might not put away this issue, but the thing is, why or how are we going to teach our children what they're supposed to do practically from what we are doing? So that is also very key, adding on to, you know, even just the basic education that we get from school as well. Yeah.
Yes, and also you've raised another point there. This should not be basically done in schools. It is also parents, and the children learn by seeing or by observing. As Sarah said, we are the role models of our children. Thank you so much for that. And as we go for a short commercial break, I'll just like your opinions, Sarah and Irene. Someone told me that in our current generation, most of watu wengi waita slave queens, you'll find that it is like an habit depending on men. Kama huwezi spend kwangu, then you don't love me or you don't have a space for you. What is your opinion on that? Mwanaume ndiye ana provide fare, mwanaume analipa rent. You'll find a lady with several men, kila mtu ana tasks zake.
That is a lady who doesn't know where she belongs, or like I see, it is a lady who hasn't discovered herself as a woman. Because as a woman, you need to respect yourself. You need to respect yourself. And respecting yourself is knowing that I should stick to one man.
Yeah.
And this man is the one who should provide for me without any other man. You cannot be approached by a man and you use him, and be approached by another one and you use him. What about the time you are going, the time you want to discuss, to settle down? Because you shall not remain young forever. Or could you have decided to be a slave queen even in your old age? But somewhere along the line, you are going to get confused. So when you want to settle down, you will have a very difficult time. In whom am I going to settle with? So I would advise these young ladies who think it is normal to have somebody who is paying for you rent, to have somebody who is paying for you your transport, to have somebody who is buying you clothes, to have somebody who is doing what, Chebet, who is feeding you. You have like 10 of them.
Na
Anywele, 10 of them. One, I would wish to tell the women they should empower themselves. You don't have, you do not have necessarily to be empowered by a man. And that's why we are talking about a financially independent woman. Have your own money, that you do not need a man to support you. You know, for me, a slave queen is just a lazy woman, a lazy girl who does not want to work hard to earn her own money. She wants to live on the comfort of men, which is not good. So young girls, it is good that you learn to empower yourselves, so that when you get your family, you can be able to empower your man. But I will not agree that it is good for a girl to have 10 different men who are going to support her in her every way. Learn to earn your money. Go out there, hustle like any other woman or girl, and be proud of what you are earning. Having 100 men who are sponsoring you or supporting you in every way, that is not, it is not something that you even are supposed to be proud of, actually. Tibet, that is not something you're supposed to be proud of. But if you choose that is what you're proud of, whom are we? But for me, having different men to support you as a girl, it is not right. What is right? Agree to work. Don't be lazy. Empower yourself. Yeah.
Well, Irene, I'd like you to add on that. What are your views on the women having, or a girl having several men, mwingine wa nywele, mwingine wa fare, mwingine wa rent, mwingine wa nguo, and so on?
That's so pathetic to me. Because, okay, I know you started by this statement that pesa yangu ni yangu na... Yeah, that's how we usually talk about it. But that thing only has strength when, you know, this is a family setup, you know. And also, I think we also explained about this on what we mean when we're talking about this. So make sure to be staying tuned, our viewers, so that we get this right all the time. Okay, when coming back to this, you know, I've always loved it when, you know, like a lady or a woman can do things for herself and do and come up with something that really portrays who she is, you know. Because when I start thinking of somebody making my hair, you know, and all that stuff, I have a dress or something like somebody has bought it for me. It really doesn't give me the satisfaction of who I am, because I even don't know who I am, because I depend on somebody to do literally what they want on me, because when this, okay, I might be so wrong, but depending on them, when these people, like, they depend on the men to give them what they want, I know the man would be like, I like such a, I want something like this. So as much as maybe the lady can suggest, this is what I want, okay, as I believe he will give you, but he wants what he wants, like there's what he wants. So that is something that really doesn't please me so much in terms of who I am and who I would want to see myself grow into, such that I really depend on somebody to give me something so that I look like what they want. I would always want to be who I want to look like. I don't know if I'm bringing this point home, but I'm trying to discourage these people who really depend on other people to do things for them, especially in terms of women. We know a woman is somebody who is to give birth. You give birth to, you produce. So I would want to produce something that looks like me. Like when I get to to go buy a dress, I want to buy a dress that is, that is my taste, and not because somebody has given me this amount of money, they want me to put on this kind of, attire, and I'll go for that because of the money that I've been given. No, that is who you're supposed to be. So I'm trying to just discourage our ladies here, there, that what, sometimes you can really work hard, and that is why we're talking about financial independence, in terms of you can do something and earn your money and do what you want to do. Make your hair, it might be as simple as it is, but that hair is what you produced, is what you've given birth unto. And everybody is always proud of their children, seeing your child, you've sired your own child, and like, child is something. Unlike when umejua umekaa tu na tena hata italeta vita, sijashuka nywele kama mama so and so, So what are you trying to show these children? That it is about the husband. He is the one who is supposed to make sure that umeshuka nywele kama mama so and so. You see, what if kama wewe mwenyewe ungetoka ukafanya kitu na ukatengeneza ile nywele yako without bothering somebody, utakuwa unafundisha mtoto wako something. So yes, women financially independent, we can still work hard and achieve it.
Well, there you have it from experts, both Irene and Sarah. I'm really saying that women should have their own money. You should be financially independent. Struggle, hata kama haitakaa vizuri sana, but at least it is yours, rather than just depending on someone else to provide. And eventually they will want something in return, and it will not be good for you. So thank you so much, Irene and Sarah. Let's take a short commercial break. You're watching Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. My name is Rita Karim Chebet, and I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with the two ladies. We have Irene Mbobushebi together with Sarah Murithi. We are going for a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Three young people who scored more than 350 marks from poor families in Lamu County.
They said it is a time to put political differences aside.
The CS further lauded the efforts of police officers in the last 100 days.
The leaders affirmed their party has a close relationship with the president.
woman knows she has strength enough for the journey, but a woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. Join Irene Mumbo Bushebi